Hi guys, hope everybody is doing good. I'm doing absolutely great myself. My name is Minta Motsa, but you guys can definitely call me Minnie M. So today you guys, I am back with yet another banger, another story time. You know the drill, okay? Before I get into the story time, please do hit the subscribe button and become a member of the Moz Squad. Hit the notification bell so as to never miss any of my future uploads. Okay, so you guys, I kid you not, you guys, I got an entire COVID-19 squad into my race. You ask yourself how? Stay tuned until the end of the story because, yeah, you will find out about that incident towards the end of the story. But okay, here is the build up. Okay, so it is 2020. I am doing my third year / final year. So it was a science course, which means I was using the laboratory, especially on your final year when you're a science student, like you do more practicals, more research, Okay, fine. So it's the beginning of the year. As we were approaching the recess, okay, boom, a pandemic it hit the news that there's a new virus, coronavirus. It's very deadly. Okay, so as the day we're going by, we're still at our rest. Nothing like was being communicated to us as to where to from here. Are like there any health measures that were gonna be taken and stuff. So it was becoming like very scary, guys. It was a scary era, man. Scary COVID-19, you guys know. Okay, so again, my rest was very close to a hospital, like a very big hospital in Durban. So we heard the news that someone has been admitted to that hospital and they have COVID-19. Yo, guys, we were so scared. We wanted to go to our homes, So then, a few days later, the institution sent out a communication. They sent an email to students that we must go back to our respective homes. They will provide transport for us to go back there because it is no longer safe. The virus is super spreaders. It is easily transmitted, you guys. So I don't know if coronavirus is zoonotic or not, like if it can be transferred from animals to humans or vice versa. I'm not too sure about this one, but we were told that the virus is very deadly, like so many cases are being reported, so we had to go back to our homes and quarantine there. Okay, fine. So packed our bags. I think it was around like March, if I'm not too mistaken, man, because recess is around that time, March, April. Yeah, like towards the end of March, early April. Recess is during that time in the first semester. Okay, fine. We go back to our homes, right? Okay. You know, guys, there's like with physical classes, with when everything is normal, like we attend like late. Okay, so guys, like under normal circumstances, so that we have like contacts / physical lectures. So that is what we were used to. Like most of the things, it was physical, and contacts will go like attend lectures, go do practicals. Like we'll have like demonstrators in the laboratories demonstrating to us as to how we should go about conducting an experiment if that is what we are doing. Like we have like conduct tutorials and stuff, like everything was normal. But now came COVID-19. So COVID-19 came with a lot of changes. But luckily for me, in my institution where I was studying, like we're also using like the online modes. It's like some of the things were done online, but it was mostly physical. So like we would do like assignments and then we'll upload online. We knew how to access like notes, tutorials, like study materials on the learning sites we're using. Moodle is the name of the learning sites that we're using. Okay, so now with the pandemic, like everything has to shift now. like everything has to shift from the physical or contact learning mode to the online learning mode, which means like now assessments we're done online. Now we now have to type now to write tests, to write exams, like everything. Okay, so we went back home, we were studying there like online, as I'm saying. Like the transition was insane. The transition period, you guys, like it was the most difficult thing we've had to endure. Like it was the most difficult thing, you guys. Like it came with a lot of changes. Some things we're not familiar with, you know. Like now we had to start afresh. We had to we had to have like online sessions where we were being taught as to how we are supposed to go about certain stuff. Some were confusing, like especially with us science students, as I've mentioned, that's like we use laboratories a lot because we require a lot of practicals. Like in theory, as you progress, like you move to another level of study, the theory becomes less, more practicals, like more practicals needs to be done, you know. So it was difficult, you guys, but then we had to juggle all of this, you know, learn and stuff, like, you know. So we stayed like at our homes for like let me see, March to August, like for like 5 months. Okay, so remember that's when the COVID-19 hit, like the pandemic. We had like lockdown. So we had lockdown stage 5, where we were not supposed to go like anywhere to the town. Like we were restricted, like we were given like a certain amount of time that you're supposed to spend in town, in the shop, you know. And you're supposed to be wearing masks, as you know, all those things. Okay, we moved from stage 5 to stage 4, and then from stage 4, so we're continuing to learn online during this period of time. So we moved from stage 4 to stage 3. Like everything was easing up, like the lockdown rules, some of them like were easing up, excuse me. So now we're able to travel to certain places, but you needed to have like a travel permit in order for you to travel to go somewhere. Like Grove was now open, like certain businesses that were closed during lockdown, like during stage 3, they were now starting to open. Okay, so in stage 3, as now everything was easing up, remember that during lockdown we had like essential workers, we also had essential students. Okay, not necessarily essential students, but students that were doing their final years, and students that required like the university resources such as laboratories in order to complete their studies. They were invited to come back to their races. So we were given like study permits. Yeah, you had to have like a study permit in order for you to come back to rest. Okay, fine. Because I had mentioned that I was in my final year, I was doing a degree that was like a science degree, like it was under the Faculty of Agriculture, Engineering and Science. So I was also invited to come back to rest. Okay, fine. Beleke nje sasingasafuni ukuhlala ekhaya. Hayi na personally vele ngangasafuni inkosi yami. So when I got that letter, I was over the moon. Ngasikrima, guys. Ngijabulele ukuthi ngibuyela eRest. So I got the letter, packed my bags, because there were even dates that were stipulated in the letter as to when are you supposed to come back, what are the majors. Like there were like a lot of protocols that has to be observed in order for you to be allowed to rest. Like you had to show a lot of documents, you guys. Like COVID-19 made our life hell. So the documents that we had to produce in order for us to be allowed into rest. Okay, fine. I went to rest, had all the necessary documents. Okay, fine. They gave me another room. So before COVID-19, our rooms, like we're three sleeper bedrooms, so it was the three of us we were sharing. So now during COVID-19, because it was not all of the students that were invited back to rest, so we were placed in each room, like we were not sharing. Each individual had his or her own room. Okay, fine. Got to rest, they gave me a room. They literally made me choose. Actually, I just had to choose a number. Okay, they just gave me a floor and then I had to choose a room number. Okay, fine. I chose a room number and then got to rest. Fine. So everything was still on. Even when we were back to rest, everything was still online. We had like online sessions with our subject specialists. So if you are in your third year and you're doing a science course, you'll have a subject specialist. The one that will be guiding you on how to write like scientific articles, reviews, and all those assignments that are done in science. Okay, so everything was done online. Like the workload, you guys, like we had to remember that at some point we were not doing anything because we're still trying to transit. Everything has to be moved from physical to online now. So all the content, the learning material that was going to be provided to us, like via contacts or physical classes, now had to be changed into and made it available online now. So at some point we were not like doing the assessments and all the required tasks that we were supposed to complete. So now when we came back to rest, it's like it seems like the workload had like multiplied. Like literally it was not added, it was multiplied, the workload, because now everything was weighing heavily on us as students. Like we did not have time to ourselves, you guys. Like we're so right, like so guys, like everything was weighing on us. So I was always in front of a computer, you guys, studying, preparing for a simulation, because now we had to move from doing experiments to simulations. If you know simulation, you know it's more like an experiment, but like a shortened version of it. It is not accurate as an experiment. So yes, now we have to do like simulations, do practical reports, do online tutorials, do assignments. Like we had a lot of work, you guys, that we had to do. So I was spending a lot of time in the computer. I remember I started experiencing problems with sleeping. Like I would struggle to sleep because at some days I would like cross over, like spend an entire night completing like an assignment or writing a practical report that is due. Mind you, if you submit late online, like the system will be able to say, even if you're 1 second later, the system will write that you submitted 1 second later, and marks will be deducted. Like 10% of the marks will be deducted. Like you guys, it was crazy. Like the pressure, like I don't have like the proper way to describe the pressure that we're under. You guys, this was a stressful period. Like if you're doing a final year, so guys, under all of that stress, like I ended up like experiencing panic attacks. I would feel very congested, like in like chest congestion. I don't know if that is a thing, but I will feel congested in my chest, you guys. Like it was so crazy, you guys. So okay, this one time, you guys, I'm busy in like in front of my personal computer, busy typing there. I'm busy like doing completing my assignments, doing tutorials and all those tasks. So I started having difficulty breathing. Like I struggled to breathe. Like I felt my chest closing a lot. Like I panicked a lot, you guys. I reached out to the house committee. They informed the building supervisor. The building supervisor, they alerted, I think they called the hospital, and then they told them about the symptoms. So when they were describing the symptoms, you guys, like they were similar to the COVID-19 symptoms. You guys are going to remember that, like if you are affected by the virus, you will like literally have difficulty breathing. You will literally struggle to breathe. Like it was one of the major COVID-19 symptoms. So you guys, I suppose like they described those symptoms to the healthcare providers, and they told they probably alerted the COVID-19 squad that there's another case. So it was very close to the hospital. I'm not gonna mention the hospital. So it didn't take them like more than 5 minutes to arrive to my race, you guys. So they like it was like white guys only. Like it was white guys only. They were wearing those protective clothing that they used to wear during COVID-19 so that they will not contract the virus. They came, checked me, they checked my oxygen consumption. That was the first thing that they will check, and then they said that to me that everything was normal. I should limit the time I spent on my screen. So basically guys, that was the major cause of my difficulty breathing. So yeah guys, it turned out okay, so they tested me for COVID-19 as well. It turned out that I did not have the virus, guys. I was so stressed because I legit thought that I might have contracted like the virus. I was so stressed, but then they took me out of my misery after informing me that no, it's nothing major. I need to rest more often, spend less time in front of a computer, like, and hydrate, because yeah, it turned out I was also dehydrated as well. So yeah guys, but everything was fine. They left, and yeah, that's how I got an entire squad coming to my race. But until then, see you guys.